Hey girl, hey. Good morning. Well, I have decided, since I am not in the bone-crushing crisis that I have been in, as you can clearly see from my videos, since I'm not in that bone-crushing anxiety, panic, I am, today's Wednesday. He's been gone a week today. Oh my God. Noisemaker, noisemaker, noisemaker. Wow. No wonder I feel so good. Cheers. Cheers. Plain old coffee, by the way. Yeah. Haven't smoked, haven't drank. Haven't felt I needed to. There was one time over the weekend that I felt this rush of it was a body memory of trauma. There was a rush of panic because I'd heard the blender go off, and it was always so aggressive in the house, so that when the blender would go off, when he would be cleaning it or making something, it was always this aggressive sound because there was always so much aggression. And so I would always jump every time the blender would go off. And my son cleaned the blender, and and so there were some other things coming up for me. And so I really wanted to go out and buy a pack of smokes. I'm like, no. Is that what you want? You cannot go forward without changing these habits. You are leveling up. So you can't do that. Grabbed myself some nicotine gum because I wasn't able to chew gum while I had my braces on. And chewing gum is almost like a stim for me when you're neurodivergent. It helps me center myself. And so I grabbed a piece of nicotine gum et voila. Right? So I haven't even been wearing a patch. I went from smoking 4 packs a day over that last weekend to absolutely nothing and no cravings. It is profound the way trauma affects your life. And ultimately your body. So we are focusing on healing, and that's what we're doing. So in that vein, I have decided, since I'm not so much in crisis, I've made some notes on things that I want to cover and things that I want to talk about now that I can be a bit more focused and present. The first thing I want to talk about is, and I'm also going to keep these videos to 15 minutes or less. The other ones had to be a little bit longer because they had to capture what I was trying to show. And it took as long as it took. And I wanted to honor that part of the process. So maybe you won't get through all of those previous videos. People are busy, I get it. But for my own self and my own sanity, I was not filtering that. I was not, let the camera fucking roll. That's what I was doing. So here's my notes. Look at me leaning down. Ugh. Oh my God, it's not great, but it's better. It's better. And the other thing I'll say is, oh man, it was so dreary here this morning. It's raining. But you know what? We need the rain. But the great part is I woke up at 5:30. I didn't pop out of bed because back. But I was up and I was doing what I call my songbird yoga. I hate the word yoga. It triggers the same feelings that I feel about organized religion in general. So yoga, the word yoga is very triggering for me because so much of this came out of yoga. The bastardization of it anyway. So what I do in the morning to start my day is I center, connect to myself while listening to the birds sing me awake. I don't use an alarm anymore. Isn't that amazing? I don't use an alarm. So anyway, those are some of the shifts that are happening here. But I went on my Mel Robbins this morning to watch my video. I'm kind of getting into this morning routine and this ritualization of my mornings. And she said the project was never about the project, this 30-day blitz. It was about me. It's about you. It's about you changing your life. That you were the project. I'm telling you. If Mel Robbins came out with some goddamn Kool-Aid, I would be like, hell yes. Hell yes. I'm buying whatever she's selling. All day long, she's amazing. So yeah, it has started with me, and the punchline is, action is the name of the game. You can literally have anything you want. Happiness, connection, money. It's all about what we prioritize in our lives. I went from 10 days ago being in a days-long drunken stupor, smoking my face off, begging for relief. 10 days later, I'm showered, present, awake, in it, about it, focusing my energy on that, because what I have realized through all of this project, I mean, I kind of knew it, which is why I was so drawn to it to begin with. But this has been over half a decade of some of the most arguably abject torture I've ever experienced in my whole life, which is saying a lot because, like I said, I have a sordid past. But what it is my abandonment wound. It's my childhood wounds. I was the scapegoat. I was the truth teller. I got it the worst. Everyone was always positioned against me. The answer was always no. I was never seen, valued, heard, experienced, like appreciated. And I was always trying to fix. Because maybe if I did it enough, somebody would see me. And I married that. And how great is that I can now reflect after this 30-day Project Blitz and think to myself in my whole heart, I am some world-class, grade A supply. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to supply myself with all the things. All the things. So one of the things that I want to talk about today, because I want to keep these short, I got 8 minutes left, so I want to stay on target. We'll see how I do. I don't want to do the TikTok or the Instagram thing because, 30 seconds of we need time to process these things. We cannot bypass this. This is a long healing journey from narcissistic abuse. And yes, you can learn and garner some good things through a 30-second TikTok or whatever, an Instagram, we're pointing, Yes, of course, it all has value. Absolutely. But it takes time to process. And I encourage everyone not to bypass that. It's absolutely essential, because if we don't, just like I drove 70 miles an hour into a cop, we're going to drive 90 miles an hour straight into another narcissist or another toxic relationship or another severe taker, right? Let's not do that. So one of the things that I want to talk about today is love bombing. Love bombing and the cognitive dissonance that comes with it. Because I'm so limber, I want to read one of the... Ooh, I look like I'm haunting something. Maybe. Anyway, I had mentioned Rihanna. As one of my, I'm not going to lie, I do fangirl. There are some people out there that I super have like a girl crush on. Rihanna's one of them. But she has this song, I'm sure you know it, Love in a Hopeless Place. Yeah, We Found Love. And the beginning of it is Agnes Dane. I'm 100% certain I butchered her name, and for that I apologize, but this is kind of not the point right now. But in the beginning of the song, the intro is just so profound to trauma bonds and love bombing, right? I know I want to talk about love bombing, but perhaps we're going to go more into trauma bonding at this point. It says, and her accent is like, it's like you're screaming and no one can hear. But then she goes on, right? You almost feel ashamed that someone could be that important, that without them you feel like nothing. No one will ever understand how much it hurts. You feel hopeless, like nothing can save you. And when it's over and it's gone, you almost wish you could have all that bad stuff back so that you could have the good. And if that is not the very definition of a trauma bond, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. So, excuse me. It is the cognitive dissonance that comes with it. The cognitive dissonance. Another example. I've always felt like my psyche, my sense of self, my worth, my opportunities to self-actualize or parent, right? That I was always being curb stomped, metaphorically, curb stomped. And when he was done, he would hand me an ice pack, patch up my lips, right? Tell me it's going to be okay and that he loves me. Tap me on my chin. Give daddy a kiss. Come on. Give me a kiss. Give me a hug. Come on. Give me a kiss. Would tap me on my fucking chin while my son watched. Yeah, how's that for consent, huh? Yeah, enthusiastic consent. And he wouldn't fucking leave me alone until I did. There. Your cup filled now, right? Good for you, man. You're powerful. You're a powerful man. And so that is ultimately what a trauma bond is. Somebody curb stomps you into oblivion. And then they're the solution. They're the solution. Another example. Valentine's Day. We went up to Stitch Buffalo. I will get into Stitch Buffalo because it's absolutely essential to me that the world knows what, or anybody knows who and what Stitch Buffalo is. But I asked him to get me this for Valentine's Day. We went before Valentine's Day. Asked him to get me this. It's a little heart craft. It's like a garland kit. I asked him to get it for me for Valentine's Day. So he got it. Obviously. I asked him for it a month later. Hey, did you ever get that garland kit from Stitch Buffalo? I asked you to. Oh, yeah, here it is. Thanks. Okay, yeah, because I think I want to put it together. No! Don't put it together without me. Put it together with me. Put it together with me. God put it together with me. It's our craft. God put it together with me. It's June 14th. It's still in the bag. Still not done. So you know what I'm going to do? These are mine. These are mine now. So this is going to go in my self-love, self-care space that I've created, where I go and I meditate. Not really meditate. I'm not a meditator. I'm a power downer. But when you're hypervigilant and neurodivergent, meditating can be super difficult. At least it is for me. Factor in some complex trauma. And yeah, it's not happening. So I will lay and be quiet and think good thoughts. That's about as far as I get. If you want to call that meditating, fine. But yeah, this is mine now. But this is the trauma bond. This is the trauma bond. This is how much I love you. Eat shit. Wait, hang on a second. Did you just say you love me? Oh, I'm so lucky. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fucking trauma bond. And it's disgusting. And I feel ashamed. And like it says in the intro, you almost feel ashamed that someone could feel that important. And you do. And it's real. But you can break it. You can break it. He's been gone a week. I've cried in energy work and pushing things through because I have felt so much despair and pain and suffering and hopelessness. But I have not missed him. I have not cried because why does the man that tortured me not love me? Fuck that. Fuck that noise. No. Sometimes I feel like mostly embarrassed and humiliated that became my life and I became that person, but I don't recognize her anymore, and I'm so fucking here for that. I am so here for that. So ultimately, I'm kind of experiencing... I would look at other people with such pride and like, wow, look at them. How do you have your shit together like that? How do you do that? How do you walk into your life so calm and confident and you just like rocking your shit and you have your life together? Like, how do you do that? And one of the things that I thought about is that bleeding hearts make a mess. Fucking blood everywhere. And if it's not the blood of your enemies, maybe it's just a little too messy. So, these are hearts of strength and power. They will not make a mess. They will just be my little garland kit felt tip tassels of strength and power that I weave into the very fabric of who I am. Because I am going to be my own world-class grade A supply. And I am here with you, encouraging you to do the same and see your own worth as well. Even if you can't see it. And it seems kind of, you don't know me, that's bullshit, you're just talking to a YouTube channel. I actually do see your worth. It's one of my superpowers as an empath. So I encourage you to look in the mirror and see the same. See the beauty that's fighting to come out. That spark that lives in you that won't die. Fan that shit. And let it burn like a wildfire. Fan that shit and let it burn like a wildfire. I got your back. Big kisses, big hugs. Thanks for listening. Chat soon. Well, so P.S. I went a few minutes over and ended up talking much more about trauma bonding, but we will 100% get into love bombing. You can't not. So stay tuned. Like and subscribe. Share. If anybody's feeling like this could be beneficial to anyone, please bring them along our journey with us. The more the merrier. All right. Mwah.